Guys, choosing work boots used to always be a compromise where you either have to sacrifice comfort or durability. I grew up on job sites. Believe me when I tell you, I've worn my share of work boots. Brunt has finally changed this predicament. They've designed a boot as comfortable as your favorite sneaker for any job site. Trainer Eric Gerwad grew up blue collar, and he started Brunt after his friends in the trades encouraged him to build a workwear brand that was made for them. And how cool is this? All Brunt products are named after guys Eric grew up with. Whether you need waterproof, safety toe, or soft toe, you want to pull them on or lace them up, they got you covered. Brunt is so confident in these products, they'll let you try it on the job, risk-free. For a limited time, my listeners can get $10 off at Brunt at checkout by using code Chael. Just head to bruntworkwear.com/Chael. Use the code Chael, you're all set. Brunt also offers a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. Whether it's heavy-duty work pants or weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs reliable, durable workwear to keep you protected. Right now, my listeners get a save $10 off at Brunt simply by using code Chael at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com/Chael. Use the code Chael at checkout, or just click on the link below. And if they ask, tell them Chael sent you. Bryce Mitchell, Jean Silva. The elephant in the room, okay? And I gotta tell you guys, being here live, this was such a big deal and nobody was talking about it because nobody knew how. I mean, even fans in the building, everyone was thinking it. No one was saying it. Nobody was on social media saying it. There was no media report. They just didn't know how. They didn't know the words. They thought they were running into landmines. Look, Bryce had said something very bad. And the adjudication for this terrible statement, the punishment, was going to be to face Jean Silva. Now, you gotta understand, as this fight got closer and people started to realize Bryce can win, like Bryce, first off, is really good, and second, there's positions that if Bryce can get the fight, like when people started to realize the line started to move. This started at 550. My own partners at DraftKings had this at 550, and it ends up closing at 300. I mean, it started shrinking, and it starts coming towards Bryce, and I'm just sharing with you. It was about so much more than fighting. This was one of the most important sporting events in the world right now. Because there was a built-in on accident mechanism that if Bryce wins, okay, it solidifies his statement. It allows his words to be okay. There was a built-in accidental mechanism because of this fight being built around the adjudication of punishment. And all of a sudden, you've got a building that if they choose to cheer for Bryce, they're inadvertently choosing to support a message that was deemed unacceptable. Now, this is very fascinating. And we all knew it and we all felt it, but no one talked about it, did they? You didn't read a single article, but you knew it. You know what I just said to be true. And I'm telling you, when that music hit, and what I believed was going to be a standing reception for Jean Silva, I will tell you, being there live, was not. And when that music hit, and what was supposed to be a resounding denouncement of Bryce Mitchell was not. The louder applause was for Bryce going into this fight. And it was a very slippery situation. It really was. I'm sharing with you the emotion. I'm sharing with you the faces in the building. I'm sharing with you the people that are turning and whispering and what they're talking about. This was one of the most important sporting events in the world. There was no championship, but there wasn't supposed to be. There was no contendership, but there wasn't supposed to be. There was no ranking, there was no bonus. There was something bigger than all of that. And it was a social acceptance, and it was freaking fascinating. It was and I'm just not sure at home you could feel it. I was getting some text messages, and my buddy Byron was texting me, and Joel was texting me, and I felt like they were getting it. But when that night ended, and it went the way that the script was supposed to go, there was a 50% relief, and that relief was very powerful, and there was 50% that were disappointed and enjoyed the turmoil. And you do what you want with that. But I'm just sharing with you from being in the building and be able to feel that with you. They call it energy, but it's a very real thing, and you can feel it when it exists, and you can feel tension when it exists. And it was interesting, and Jean Silva is dog tough, by the way, not to mention he's got star qualities. His ability to stay calm, and the fighting nerds are very high on my list right now. I'm really very intrigued and impressed with these guys, but they are unique. We don't have teams in MMA. We don't have teams anywhere. That's just something you say. Only real team you've ever had was in high school. It's the only real team you've ever had. You've never belonged to a team that you couldn't get up and walk out the door, and you've never belonged to a team that you wouldn't get up and walk out the door if somebody paid you more money. You're a whore. And so are all of your alleged teammates. And it's the same thing in MMA. We got a couple of super gyms, and people attach themselves. They live halfway across the country. They catch a plane. They go in for a couple of months so they can sleep with their mistress, and their wife stays back home with the kids, and she doesn't know. That's the truth. And then you got a couple of actual teams. You got a couple of actual teams that like one another, that will be there for one another, will buckle down, that listen to one coach, that have one voice, that have one message. But you've only got a couple. You got Khabib's team, and you got the boys out in New Zealand. And then you got what appears to be the fighting nerds. But there's a difference. When you go to your corner in a mixed martial arts fight, that's out of respect. There's nothing that will happen in a corner. Nothing. Not from a cut man to a coach. There is nothing that is going to change the night. You are so exhausted, you are not listening to his words. All you want for him is to dump some of that water in the bottle that's in his hand into your mouth. That's the entire reason that you flew him out and licensed him. That's the truth. But every now and then, and it was the case tonight with Jean Silva, you will have a guy that can be so composed and can trust his coach so much that he can make adjustments between rounds. 99.9% of the time, that does not happen. They are there exhausted, pretending to listen and wanting water. But tonight, I watched Jean Silva listen. I watched him stay composed. I watched him listen to his coach, make adjustments. I watched him believe in himself and believe in his conditioning. I watched him believe in the process, believe in the strategy. And he ultimately goes out and beats Bryce at his own game. It was a very fascinating thing. And Jean Silva has the it factor. I mean, he was doing things that was bringing people to their knees. Ari Emanuel personally went and congratulated Jean Silva. And I would just tell you, I've never seen that happen before. It was a very impactful night. I truly believe it was the most important sporting event in the world.